Hi there, it's Josh from Meshbricks, and in this video I'm going to be attempting to turn this collection of bits into one of these. Many of you have seen this before. This is my it's what I display my minifigures in. Some time ago now it got too full. I've got a lot of minifigures waiting to go in, so I think it's about time I built a new one. For anyone with, the slightest amount of ability, it's quite an easy build. Obviously, younger kids, best if you either get a parent to do it or at least have help doing so. It's not a long build. There's only a couple of things that you need. First off, you're going to need the I use the IKEA Reba frame, but any kind of deep box frame should be fine. And obviously you can use whatever size you want. I happen to use the big ones because I like them. You can fit a lot of figures in there. Next, as far as materials go, I use strip wood. This is just a pine strip wood. For the shelves, it's a 25 mil wide by 6 mil deep. I buy in the longer pieces because you get less wastage that way. And then for the supports, it's a 6 by 6 box piece or square strip wood. That fits at the back of the shelves. It just gives a bit of extra support. It isn't needed, as the minifigs, they're not that heavy, obviously. But yeah, and other than that, normal woodworking implements. You're going to need a saw. For gluing the shelves, you can either use wood glue, hot glue, and all-purpose glue, and then I tack them in with panel pins. So a hammer's needed as well if you're going to do that. The pins aren't really needed, but I mean you could just pin it if you wanted to. And then afterwards it's just given a coat of black paint, so it matches the outside of the frame. If you wanted to do a different colour, again, whatever colour you want. So I'm going to get into this, and hopefully this goes to plan. Right, so what we're going to do first is take the frame apart to get to the kind of inner mount. So the back comes off. It's released by pulling up all these tabs, and then we get rid of the paper backing. Don't need that. You keep it if you want, if you've got some other use for it. And then that's the mount. It's quite a nice mount card. So again, it can be kept. You can use it to make templates for the shelves by cutting a piece out the right size and then placing it on the wood and marking over it. If you're not comfortable just marking the wood as normal with a pencil and a set square or ruler. So this is the bit that we need. This is the inner frame mount. That's one side. And then what I usually do is put the backing board back on, fold the tabs over. That's going to keep the glass from falling out. So put that to one side. So here's your mount frame, and that's what we're going to use to build this, which is the shelves. So all it is onto this we're going to add our shelves with the back support on them. Probably be able to see it better from here. So there's that thin piece of 6 by 6 strip wood is attached to the bottom of the shelf, and then everything is attached, first glued, and then from the outside two just simple panel pins tapped in to hold it in place, give it a bit of extra strength. Like I said, it's not needed, but it just makes everything a bit more sturdy, make it last longer. So when deciding on how many shelves and the height of the shelves, you want to decide what's going in it really. Now everything I'm doing is based on my collection, which is going to be Star Wars minifigs. So just look at how big your minifigs are. Standard minifig is just under 5 centimeters, which is about 2 inches. So if you're just having standard size minifigs, you probably be able to fit in an extra shelf. The width of this is 485mm, which is about 19 inches. But in my collection, again, I've got some slightly bigger minifigs. So like Darth Maul with the bionic legs, he's a bit bigger. He's just under the 6 centimeter, 2¼ inches. But I also have Han Solo and Carbonite, which I want to put in there, and he's about 7. So, like with the other frame, I keep the top shelf slightly taller than the rest of the shelves, and it works out roughly from the top of one shelf to the top of the next one. It's about 68mm, which is just over 2½ inches. I'm going to be working in millimeters because that's what I'm used to. So it works out at each one of these shelf heights is about 68mm, and then the top one's going to be around 77. You can round up or round down if you wanted to, so make them say 65, and then the top one's going to be a fair bit bigger. But it's a height that works for me. Again, if you don't want as many shelves, don't put as many shelves in. If you only want 5 rather than 6, which will give you 6 areas for display, just put 5 in. If you want, you probably fit in 1 extra shelf. It might just fit. I'm not 100%, but you probably could do that. It's up to you. It's your display. If you want to put in less shelves, which would give you a bit more room if you wanted to put, say, LED lighting, then that's another option. There's something I want to try and do with mine at some point, is retrofit like an LED strip, RGB lighting into it, but that's for another day. So what I'm going to do now is get on with cutting the wood. Like I said, the width of each shelf is going to be 485mm, which is 48½ centimeters. So I'm going to get on and cut the wood.